Legal education pervasively sends students the message that corporate lawyering is somehow less moral and socially desirable than public interest lawyering. The message seems to be that the corporate world is essentially corrupting and alienating, while true self-actualization is possible only in a legal aid office. Our students get these messages not only in law school, but in the mass media. Films like A Civil Action or Aaron Brockovich illustrate the general ill repute in which corporations and corporate lawyers are held, at least here in Hollywood. Recently saw on cable a rerun of the Sandra Bullock movie, 2 Weeks' Notice, in which precisely the message is that the corporate world is corrupting, and it's the legal aid office in which you will achieve self-actualization. In my teaching, candidly, I have chosen to unabashedly embrace a competing worldview. I tell my students about Nicholas Murray Butler, president of Columbia University and winner of the Nobel Peace Prize, who wrote, quote, "The limited liability corporation is the greatest single discovery of modern times. Even steam and electricity are less important than limited liability companies." I tell them about journalists John Micklethwaite and Adrian Woolridge, who wrote a magnificent history of the company, which contends that the corporation is the basis of the prosperity of the West and the best hope for the future of the rest of the world. There's no doubt that the corporation is now the key economic institution in Western nations. The corporation also has proven to be a powerful engine for focusing economic liberty. Private property and freedom of contract were indispensable if the corporation was to come into existence. And in turn, by providing centers of power separate from that of the state, corporations give economic liberty substance as against the state. And so I ask my students, what explains the relatively rapid development in the mid-19th century of a recognizably modern corporation, and in turn that entity's emergence as the dominant form of economic organization? The answer had to do a lot with new technologies, especially the railroad, requiring vast amounts of capital, the advantages such large firms derived from economies of scale, the emergence of limited liability, and the rise of professional management. For the most part, these advantages remain true today. The corporation remains the engine of economic growth, both at the level of giants like Microsoft and garage-based startups. The rise of the corporate form thus has improved the living standards of millions of ordinary people, putting luxuries within the reach of the man in the street. The rising prosperity made possible by the new wealth created by industrial corporations was a major factor in destroying arbitrary class distinctions, enhancing personal and social mobility. Many of the wealthiest businessmen of the last 150 years began their careers as laborers rather than as the sons and daughters of coupon-clipping plutocrats. And so I put it to my students this way. You want to help make the world a better place? You want to eliminate poverty? Become a corporate lawyer. Help business grow so that they can create jobs and provide goods and services that make people's lives better. The goal isn't just to make my students feel better about themselves or their career choice, or mine. I firmly believe that people who have been frequently told, "You've already sold out," will be more willing to make ethical compromises when they get out there and practice. After all, if you've already sold out, what's one more ethical slip? If we celebrate the pro-social aspects of corporate practice, if we celebrate business as a calling, if we celebrate the ability to do good while doing well, I hope my students will be better gatekeepers when they get out and practice. And in closing, I'd just like to say that I hope very much, for the benefit of the students who are in the room, that this award has in some way validated the message that I've been trying to give you for the last 20 years. Thank you very much.